All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to do a small garden tour, basically. I'm going to stop first at my little herb garden that is kind of taking a beating because right above is where the rain gutters are, and I think they get clogged and then spill over, and then it kind of digs a trench here. So it gets a little uneven, but I have things that are growing, which is good. Lots of basil and dill. I'll have to thin this out, but it's there. And then green pool. Getting that fixed today. This is just flowers. This alyssum smells amazing. I just love it. And my African daisies. I don't know if they like this spot, so no more blooms right now. May have to replace that. I've got some strawberries in here. They like to hide. There they are. And a begonia. That's really pretty. I like the tinge of pink on the buds and the dark leaf. And then over here, excuse the kids' toys and stuff that gets left out. These little guys need to fill out. Some coleus and supertunia, hydrangea. This concoleus got eaten a little bit. And supertunia vista and coral sedum. And my Prince Tut is growing happily. And a fern. This is my shade area. And my kid threw another toy over here. I need to come through here with some mulch now that I've got stuff planted. Lamb's ear's taken off like crazy. This thing here will fill out and be giant. 4 to 6 feet wide, actually. Some caladiums and creeping Jenny. Empress Wu Hosta. And I was a little late on the bug and slug. It got eaten a little bit, but it should be okay. And a stilby actually has some buds on it, so it should bloom soon. My ajuga had purple blooms before. My hydrangea has some blooms coming out now. There's my coral bells, my heuchera. So that's the shade garden area. Hey Doze, what are you doing? Grapevine looks healthy and spreading out, and all of these little things down here will be grapes. And this Indian hawthorn is super dead, and we're going to remove it, which is fine. My cannas are coming back, so I need to come through here and weed. But those will be tall and beautiful. My ivy did not do well with the freeze that we had. But this is a pretty full grapevine that fills in nicely. Okay. Hardy orange tree. We're gonna have to have it removed. It's awful. Back around the other side. lemon balm that smells amazing. These guys are starting to open. That's fun. My Rosa Sharon will be later. And I've got dahlias planted through here, so they should come up later. And I need to hit some of these guys with some fertilizer. And they'll fill in. Some scarlet cannas and weeds, because, you know, the weeding is never ending. And the royal purple. And this way, there's my elephant ear, surrounded by my constant nemesis, bindweed. I'm constantly digging this stuff out. It's awful. And banana trees. They took a little bit of a beating in the last storm, but it'll heal up and come back just fine. My sago palm died, so it's now starting to blow everywhere, and we got to get it removed. But on this side, my salvia is doing well. My dog keeps trying to bend pieces over and kill it. I'm gonna get him for that. But these flowers are so pretty. They're starting to open up. And I have a little pathetic blackberry, but I started it this year, so that means in the next couple of years it should be healthy and happy. And his little buddy over here for cross-pollination is behind the salvia. Probably not getting much sun now. That's okay. Coneflowers or echinacea are starting to get some petals. My blueberries did better this year, but they like a lot more acid than what our soil has. More echinacea and a water gun. Look at that. My yarrow came out this year. It looks beautiful. Starts out as like a really bright pink, and then it kind of fades into this yellow color on the inside of the flowers. Let's see if it will focus on it. And more buds down there of the yarrow. Those are mini sticks. He's a weirdo. Okay. And back over here, I planted some clematis to go up an arch that I was married under. There's all kinds of grass and weeds and stuff that need to be pulled here, but I did also plant dahlias in this area. Here's another clematis that will grow up the arch. It's already starting to cling to it. Has buds. And then starts the veg garden in the backyard. I've got nasturtiums here. Summer squash. I've tucked in some hot peppers throughout, and I didn't label any of the peppers, so it's going to be a lovely surprise to figure out which ones are actually too hot to eat. Got some watermelons coming up. There's a seedling there. And then over there's black diamonds. Those are sugar babies there. Cantaloupe here. And some more peppers. And my dragon that's guarding it all. And a volunteer sunflower popping up right behind it. This one, nasturtiums again. Asparagus takes a long time to start growing, so I'm not worried about that, but here's my spinach row. Tiny Tim tomatoes. They're little tiny ones that look like the size of marbles. My okra is taking off and looking good. This is is my basil, which improves the flavor of the tomatoes if they're grown together. And then 3 different kinds of tomatoes. Over there's cherry. This is the Brandywine row. And these are my beefsteaks over here. And more sunflowers from last year's patch that I had in this location. And that's fine. They can grow and be happy. They bring me joy. Alright, this one has onions. The tall ones I got as sets and planted. And they're white bunching. And then these tiny ones that look like grass down here are red bunching. These are all cauliflower. These are my broccolis. And I get mushrooms from time to time, which I hear makes, or means that my soil's good. I am apparently a kale master because this I grew from seed last year and it came back after the winter and has just taken off when I moved it to this bed. And then all of the little seedlings in between are also kales that are growing here and there. I transplanted a Swiss chard. I don't know if it's going to be happy here or not. It just needs to be fertilized. And then this is all lettuce. These should be, I believe, some flowers here. Here's my Brussels sprouts and dill. And bull's blood beets are a red color. They kind of blend in with the mulch. There you go. And then all my new sunflowers. These are the Russian mammoths. So they should get up to 10 to 15 feet tall, depending on staking and all that stuff around the backside. Last bed was the first one planted. So I got taller nasturtiums and different ones in here. Some are frost, some are jewel. Then these are my different radishes here. Cherry bell and early scarlet globe. And then back in the back, you see the grass-looking stalks are a type of corn. It's a japonica striped corn that should have like a red and orange variegated leaf. These little guys are my eggplants, the white eggplants. And then peas. This is a dwarf variety, so I don't have to stake them. They're not gonna like vine up and go across the whole world. Carrots are starting to come up and be happy here. And then a purple hall bean there. And some cucumbers in this corner. And then this area I want to clean up. This is all a bunch of junk that we've just like collected. That's all the stalks of corn and all of my sunflowers from last year, and then different wood pieces we've collected from play sets and all that stuff. And I want to plant back here too. I know, I'm crazy. It's like an obsession. And through the gate, this little bed doesn't get much sun, so I'm having a hard time deciding what else to put here. All of my hyacinths came up and they were pretty, and now they're done for the season, so, oh look, trash. So I need to figure out what I can plant here that will be happy and get the weeds pulled too. There's another hydrangea. And then I had hyacinths that were here too. And there's my window box. Same thing with like the backyard. The alyssum smells amazing. These geraniums will be transplanted later into my garden, but these African daisies are not happy here. so I'm gonna have to replace them. Celosia and Alyssum, super happy. And the front of the yard. This guy is done. It's no longer purple, but it will keep this shape, this globe shape, and be pretty, just as like an accent piece in the background, because it's about 4 foot tall. And my barberries are shining bright now. This yarrow is about to bloom, like in the back with the yellow. Lamb's ear is about to bloom. I didn't even know lamb's ear bloomed, but it's really neat. It was a pretty weed, I left it. All right. This is gonna be my echinacea. This is lantana. That's a butterfly bush that's growing back after the freeze. My dianthus is happy. And my boxwood. And we're repainting, so we left the little bench out here. My boxwoods. Bee balm. Look at my violas. Stuck in the middle here. They came back. I don't know why or how. They don't go with this color combo, but they're happy, so I'm leaving them alone. Dianthus. Oh, did you see the lizard? Bee balm. Boxwoods. Need to trim that dianthus. If I deadhead that, it'll come back and be happy. There's my Japanese maple. Doing good this year. And the shaded area again, columbine, looking pretty. With some more coleus, lemon coral, a few ferns in here. And these are heuchera or coral bells. They get those real delicate flowers. And there's a hosta tucked in the back. And it'll get about 3 foot wide, so yay. Okay, I've done a full round.